Welcome, and let's dive into the world of TBC and how do we communicate and send our data to and from the field. So just recording this, so if anybody does have to drop out, we are able to provide you with a link to the video at the conclusion of the training session. Alrighty, so it's probably going to be about 20 minutes, maybe a little bit longer to go through this. And we were looking at TBC and Trimble Sync Manager, how it sort of works with Trimble Connect and Trimble Access and those sorts of things. So it's more of a geospatial workflow than it is for SciTech or any of those other systems. But yeah, we'll go down the path of seeing how it works for the old surveyor. Alrighty, so the way it generally works. The way TBC communicates with the field is you'll select some data that you want in TBC. You'll then be able to link it up through the Trimble Connect cloud, sync that data up to the cloud through Trimble Sync Manager, and then access that data straight from your controller. And at the end of your project, you're able to do the exact same thing by sending it back through Sync Manager and then load it straight into that same job that you're working in. So one of the things that we sort of have to make sure that we do, so that this will all work together, is that Trimble Access has to be under maintenance warranty, under a software maintenance warranty, and has to be valid. So you'll see that we've got to make sure that we have a valid warranty on all of our software. So in the 2019 version, General Survey has to be under warranty, and then in the 2017 version, what would we see on a TSC3? Access Sync has to be under warranty for that to work. So pretty much the end result of all of this will be today is I'll show you the workflow in TBC, sort of what I've got. I've got a project which I worked on, and we'll like to show you through Sync Manager up to Access, and again back the other way. It's to work with this field to finish office workflow that Trimble have incorporated into their system. So another very important part of this is that we have to have a Trimble Id. Now, Trimble Id is your access to the Trimble Connect cloud or the Trimble cloud services. Now, if you don't already have one, it's always worth you to go and get one. At the moment, Trimble have a bit of a promotion going on, which we'll get into in a second. But the easiest way to do it is jump on the connect.trimble.com, go to the top right-hand corner and sign in. And you can either sign in or create a new Trimble ID. Generally, you can use a business account or those sorts of things for your email address. You'll send an authorization will be sent to you to your email. You've got to authorize that yes, you are that person, obviously, and then you'll have access to it. So currently, Trimble are offering for the Trimble Connect Cloud unlimited data storage, and also 10 projects, and we'll get into what the project structure looks like in a minute, as well as a number of invitees and so on and so forth, and that's valid until June 2020. That's part of Trimble's COVID-19 strategy to help out businesses to be able to stay connected whilst everybody's working from home, or surveyors are doing their field work and not coming into the office, or vice versa. Yes, one other thing is if you do have any questions or anything like that, please send through an IM and we'll hopefully be able to get to them at the end of this, and there will be questions. I'll open up the floor as I've muted everybody at the moment, but I'll sort of run through that in a sec. All right, and then at the same time, most users who already have a TSC7 or a T10 running 2019 Trimble Access will have some version, probably linked with their system of a business account. So you already have that unlimited, and just contact your representative to be able to get you all set up with Trimble Connect and have that linked, your hardware linked with your Trimble Connect account. All right, so what we're going to sort of dive into now is have a bit of a look at Trimble Connect. So this is my Trimble Connect that I have linked up through UPG. On the right-hand side here, we have our April mega training, which I have some data already in there ready to go, which we'll bring back in at the conclusion of today's event. And so that would be where, if I go back one, of course, this is where your projects are stored. So you'll have your 10 projects, which are all itemized as icons, and then under that project you can have all your jobs and other data sitting in there. And so let's have a look at getting this data from TBC into Trimble Connect and then into your Access controller. Alrighty, so this is a survey project out in Western Sydney where we have a large land subdivision broken up of probably about 120 lots, and we have a bit of a DTM or a TTM and some line work and some lot work going on there. So what we're going to be able to do is send that out to the field. The surveyor needs to go out and mark the lots at the same time as he's going to store a value of how different the lot is, or that lot corner is, in relation to the DTM that is stored there. And then that can be analysed when it comes back in from the field. So in TBC, in the home page, we have a send to sync. So this will link another software package that's loaded into your software or loaded onto your computer when you install TBC, and it accesses Trimble Sync Manager, and it works hand in hand with Trimble Sync Manager. The TBC will send the data across to Sync Manager. Sync Manager will then upload it to the cloud, and you can then access it from there. So let's select some data. We're going to be working obviously in this the TTM area, so I'm going to select all the data that I want, polygon select, and select everything in through here. I don't think I'm going to be going outside that area when we go and do our survey. And then we say we're going to send it to sync. When we send it to sync, it will open up a command and show you what we can link to the project. So currently I have 6,000 items selected in that space. I can select how I want my points to be sent to my controller. Do I want them to be embedded in a job? Do I want them to be as a DXF? Or do I want to show them up as a CSV? Now, most of the points that are here in this space will actually be control points, and I don't really want to edit them. I don't want to change their coordinates or embed them in the job. I'll just have them as a linked file because I don't really want to see them in the job unless I call for them. The line work, we're going to export as a DXF. That comes as standard. Unfortunately, you can't change that. And at the same time, I've also selected 2 TTMs, and they will be embedded in the job. So all we have to do here is say what we want to call it. I'm going to call it stage 3 lot set out. And then I'm going to add that selection into my Sync Manager. So you can also, at the top right hand corner of your pane, actually go and launch Trimble Sync Manager. I've already got it running in the background, but you just click that and it'll open it up. You need a TID or Trimble ID to log into it. So again, best ID, get one of those, and then you'll be able to play around with yourself. And once we have selected all our data, we've given it a name, we've added it to the selection, all we have to do is send, and that will automatically send the data across to Trimble Sync Manager. And here it is. The data is already opened up. Because I had it pre-opened as well, it says that TBC is actually wanting to send some data across. So it's going to send a CSV, the DXF, and then the 2 TTMs that are listed here. And it says, do you want to apply it? Yes, I do. I want to apply it and I want to create a new job. Alrighty, so let me just show you how this works. So you can select what project you would like it to be sent into. So in this case, I've already said that I want it to be heading down the path of the April Mega Training. You can select a different location if you want by going back through and saying, okay, do I want to change it to my miscellaneous projects, or I'm going to link it to my GIS, or vice versa. But I want it to be an April Mega Training. Okay, anybody that is already a user of Trimble Access will sort of notice that there's some very similar features and options here on the Trimble or the TSM Trimble Sync Manager screen. So job name, reference description. Assignees, that's to be able to assign it to somebody else that you has a TID. So for instance, I could assign this to one of my surveyors, Joe Bloggs in the field. He will get an email saying that there's a job ready to go, and he can then access it through his controller. The job files and the project file settings, this again very similar. This is what we would call our linked files. So I've got all my TTMs, DXFs, and CSVs, and at the same time project files. I have linked in here already my AusGeo 9 because I'm running on a coordinate system. As we scroll down a little bit, again, this is very, very similar to how you would see it in Trimble Access when you go and click on each one of the icons in the job creation screen. A lot of this is already created. However, I need to input into a project height. And for this job, it's about 40 meters above the... And all we have to do then is click create. Now, because I haven't embedded or I have embedded and selected some points into this file, you can view them down the bottom here. So let's go through and click create and see what it looks like when we open it up in Trimble Access. Apologies for the dead air while we wait for Trimble Sync Manager to send that data up to the cloud. Let's have a quick look and see. There should be, sounds like some people are asking some questions. Let's have a bit of a squeeze. All right. We'll come back to the questions in a second. It looks like the data's already been synced up. It's created a new job. I could have changed that name from what it is, but I've just left it there as being stage 4. You can go and edit it later on if you need to. Now, this here is where all our data is. It's all stored. We don't have to do anything else with that. Now let's go and have a look at it in Trimble Access. So, Trimble Access, this is the native screen. Let me just make it a little bit easier for everybody to see. Okay, so our native Trimble Access screen, we have our projects here. I've already logged on through my Trimble Access emulator to the cloud service and been able to sync and download all of these files here. You see it just updated some images that's already sitting there. So when I open this up, you'll see that I have a project that's currently in progress. So I'll show you in a minute how to bring that back into TBC. At the same time, here's my project that we just sent up. So you can see we have our stage 3 lot set out, CSV, DXF, and our 2 TTMs. Now, easiest way to get this in is to click download in the bottom right hand corner, and it will download the data from Trimble Connect. You can also go and click the 3 dots in the top right hand corner if you need be. So I click download, and it starts to download all the files. So it creates it uses the JXL. Please excuse that. It uses the JXL and creates a job file. All right, so here's our file. Here's our job, our control, our TTM, ready to go, ready to use if we when we go to the field. Alrighty, so let's go the other way now. Let's send some data back to TBC. So we go back and we'll find that job that we want to send. So currently it says it's in, so that one's new, haven't done anything with it. I'll set that to in progress because I'll do something with it later. Now this is our job where I've gone out and I've actually done some stakeout. I've said it's in progress because I went and did the job, but at the end of the day, I'm going to say that fieldwork is complete. Now we can click the three dots and upload the data, or if you click Fieldwork Complete, it will automatically begin uploading the data back up to Trimble Connect. Taking a little bit of time to do that. Here we go. Just waiting for it to complete. Alrighty, so it's come up, job's complete. We have a tick saying the job's been done in Trimble Access, fieldwork complete, and a cloud in the tick specifies that it's actually been sent up to the cloud. So if we go back and look at Trimble Sync Manager, we will have, again, two projects. It says we haven't done anything with the other project, but if we refresh, it should come back in and say that the job's been done. So there it is, stage 3 was in progress. Now it's fieldwork complete. If we click on that, it will show you all the data, observations, and everything related to that fieldwork. Okay, so it's brought in all the files. It shows us what our link files are, our 5, the map files that are in there, the exported file, which is a JXL, all the points that we've stored, or these stakeout points, they're all sitting in there ready to be brought in. Now we have two options here in TSM. We can download, and by downloading the files, we can save them to a specific location, and that will save a JXL off for you to use in TBC to be able to drag and drop it back in. So if you're not somebody that likes it all to be stored on the cloud forever and a day, you can save the data back to a hard drive and have a backup of it to use another time. Or if you're going to go straight from TSM, you can import the data straight into TBC, which is what we're going to do now. We're going to click Import to TBC. So since I've clicked Import to TBC, TBC's opened a new progress pane. Now I accidentally pressed it twice, which means that I have two sets of data waiting to come in. So I'll cancel one of them, and then the other one I'll say, yes, I want to import it. When I click Import, the JXL will be loaded in, and the data is then viewable down here in our Project Explorer. If I close that project view, go back in and have a look, I could turn off my TTMs. I don't need my TTMs anymore. Oh, apologies. You can also see all the stake points, all the little red flags that's everywhere related to the survey work that was done. You can see our green radial lines. I'll change our view. The green radial lines from all the station setups related to that information. All that can be turned off in your project settings or Project Explorer. So that's how to get data from the field, so from this project, out to Trimble Access through TSM or Trimble Sync Manager using the Trimble Connect cloud, and then back again from when field work is completed. So if you're, say, a survey manager and you want to send your data out to your surveyors in the field, your surveyor can have a TID, you'll have a TID, you assign it to them, they get a notification, they can access it on their controller, go and do the field work, come back, reload it back up, and then you can go back and have a look when you're ready to go. So what I might do, now that we've all completed that, I'll throw it over to some questions. I know we've had some messages coming up in the as we've been going along, but let me just open up the floor and let's see. Fire away. Nope, excuse me. Any questions? Oops, sorry. So I'm just going through the chat here, just having a bit of a look. Can't see the screen. TSM has been automatically upgraded into. Yep, that's cool. Anybody got any other further questions or anything? No. All right, I got one here from John Mills. What is the best way to handle updating control files? Say new name or overwrite. Maybe is there any way you can elaborate on that, John, a little bit more for us, and how you're handling it in Trimble Access, and whether or not you're wanting to like link in. Are you saying you want to link in a control file that's previously been done, or
Yeah, hi Peter, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, John here. Yeah, so Progressive, this has been an ongoing job for a year in central Auckland. So what I've been doing is, as I've been upgrading the control marks, there's a bit of movement in the marks, things like that. As we've been updating and upgrading them, I've just been giving it a later rev number like control rev A, rev B, such like. Mainly because the older files have obviously had control off the earlier marks. Is that the best way to do it? It seems to be very, because what happens then is it seems to be only about 50 files you can have in Trimble Sync. It's a certain number of files, and after that you can't have any more to upload.
Okay. Well, it really comes down to how you want to present it. If you're going to send it from TBC, you can have it set as a layer. You turn off all, Rev A through D, and you use E, for instance, and that's the latest one. Everything else has been superseded. You upload that through TSM, and then up to your controller. I'm not too sure, and I'm not aware of the limits on the number of files that you can have. If there's anybody else on the floor that has some information related to that, feel free, jump in. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure on how you do that. Otherwise, other than setting it up as layers in layering of your points, and then send it up that way. Might be something I'll have to bit of a play around with and get back to you, and see exactly how you're doing it and what you're doing, to be able to understand it. So.
Also, early on, one of the earlier versions, I corrupted my project, so it's started to come back in now as a CRL project.1. How can I just go back to the original project? Is that possible, or is it just a bit of a technical one I need to address offline?
Yeah, that's probably one to address offline. A bit of a look at what you've got and go from there. I'm not 100% sure on that, and that's probably something that we'd have to reach out to the UPG support to see what they've got to say about that, and possibly even Trimble. We got any other questions out there that I'm only seeing a limited number in the chat. I'm unsure as to why. No other questions. Alrighty, I think everything's been answered at the moment. What we'll do is, as I said, this recording will be available to you. If you would like a copy of it, please contact UPG and we can send you a link. I can also provide you with some other support and other things like that. If you've got any questions related to how to work it and you need to speak to somebody, please call 1-800-800-UPG or 874 and you'll be able to be put through to one of our technical consultants all the way up and down or through Australia to be able to help you out with your problems. And I wish everybody a good day and stay safe.